Alrighty, so I'm finally getting around to the Zenitsu video I've been mentioning. I've been putting this one off because of ideas that come to me literally while starting to record this video. Anyways, here we go. Love him or hate him, which, why do you hate him? He's hilarious. Zenitsu has some of the coolest scenes in the entire Demon Slayer story, whether it's the first time he falls asleep and uses thunder breathing to every other time after that, especially when fighting against Daki, where he uses his Godspeed version for the first time, which is even flashier. Tengen should like the flashiness of that attack. Honestly, it's been a few days since I recorded that last clip, so picking up where I left off, I'm just gonna read the script. This all culminates in his self-made 7th form titled Flaming Thunder God, and holy fuck, isn't that an awesome name? I forgot to mention it, but Zenitsu is now fighting awake and one-shots the new Upper Moon 6 demon Kaigaku. Disappointingly, we don't actually see any of the training that Zenitsu did to reach this form and create it. We just see him being really serious in the Hashira training arc after finding out that his grandpa committed suicide, and then the next time we see him, he's able to one-shot the new Upper Moon 6 demon Kaigaku without Kaigaku even being able to see the attack. So it's really just insane, and I wish we could have seen what it took for him to be able to make this attack, and if it was even difficult, or maybe it came easily to him, who knows. Zenitsu then goes on to use this technique against Muzan, and while it doesn't do much because he doesn't have a red blade or a Demon Slayer mark, it does do some damage to Muzan, and it looks really cool. It creates another kind of dragon effect in the lightning. I just wanted to add that Zenitsu is fighting here after his battle with Kaigaku, and also with like a leg that's pretty much not working, and he's still able to do these attacks and keep just pushing himself to use Godspeed as well, which is pretty cool. And again, this is against Muzan, not just any ordinary demon, and while everyone does kind of push their limits and have their awesome moments against Muzan, Zenitsu's are still really impressive and cool to see nonetheless. This is the last we see of Zenitsu's power in the series, but what if he continued training afterwards? How powerful would he become? Is this already his limit with, Flaming Thunder God Form 7? Let's talk about it. I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say that Zenitsu has already passed his Gramps the Roaring Hashira with his new 7th form. Get it? Because his grandpa's missing a right leg. Anyways, assuming this new form really did surpass the Roaring Hashira's capabilities, Zenitsu is already Hashira level, and given his age, this is extremely impressive. Starting more simple and less speculative, Zenitsu could enhance his power by learning forms 2 through 6 of thunder breathing, which he never did in the main series. I still think it's really interesting that he was able to come up with the form 7 without knowing these, and I assume the form comes from his special usage of form 1, that being the Godspeed version, and honing it as heavily as he did. All this to say, I think it's likely that the addition of these forms would probably make his Flaming Thunder God even more powerful, or lead to more forms outside of the 7th form, like maybe an 8th or 9th form. Who really knows? Now we're kind of getting into speculation, which I'm about to go very deep into. Now, to have some fun with speculation, I think we could say that, hypothetically, the lightning strike that changed Zenitsu's hair color had some effect and gave him some sort of abilities regarding lightning. I mean, it's a bit of a stretch, obviously, and nothing's really alluded to that, but I feel like that could be why he seems so talented compared to even Kaigaku. Maybe this chance strike of lightning had more effect on just his hair color, and actually it gives him some more powers that we'll just never see in the story. Again, I'm just having fun with this. I'm not much of a power skiller, but I think realistically Zenitsu's full potential, if he learned the other forms and continued his training, would be somewhere around the middle to upper echelon of the Hashira, possibly. I don't think, obviously, not as strong as Kiyome or Tanjiro, but I think he'd be stronger than Inosuke, at least, for sure, who isn't a Hashira. But Hashira-wise, he'd probably maybe be like Obanai or something. I don't know. We don't see an actual Thunder Hashira in the main story, outside of hearing about the Roaring Hashira. Of course, he used thunder breathing his grandpa, so we don't really know how strong he could be. Also, like a lot of things in Demon Slayer, especially breathing styles, we don't get much about thunder breathing, so we don't even know necessarily like the ins and outs of every form. Again, that's not necessary, but it would be cool to know. From what we've seen, thunder breathing uses fast, kind of explosive energy, usually with the legs, and with that, it's, again, as I said, extremely fast and also powerful due to built up momentum. So, I mean, he could just get faster, I guess, more momentum, and I don't know, something like that. But yeah, I don't really know what else I have to say regarding Zenitsu's full potential. I mean, he'd be very powerful on the lower end. As I said, he'd be like mid-tier Hashira, and on the higher end, he'd be one of the strongest, if not the strongest, aside from sun breathing. That's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please like, comment, subscribe. It helps out the channel so much and gives me the motivation to continue. So if you enjoy the content, please do that, and I'll see you in the next one.